Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
And we're here in Pick Up Every Stitch, our local yarn shop, owned by Karen and Felicia in Mount Kisco, New York.
Yes, and neither of us has been here for a while, right?
No, I haven't been here in a long time.
Yeah.
So tons of new yarn. There's this Fonty yarn over here, Fonty Soyuz, and it's merino and silk, and it just comes in. Is that right? It just comes in beautiful, beautiful colors. So lots of new goodies in the store.
Yes, actually, my favorite thing today is a new yarn that they're carrying. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, it's so fun. And it was pouring down rain today, but I think the sun's coming out now.
I know. And on filming days, I usually wear my hair in a ponytail or in some disarray. But I make an effort on filming days. And yeah, it was just absolutely pouring down rain.
Pouring.
Yeah. But your hair looks great.
Oh, yes, I got it colored today.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
She asked me what color it was, and I thought magenta, but in person, it's a little bit more rose gold with magenta and hot pink.
Yeah, on Instagram,
Yeah, really
I posted a picture while she was blow drying it, the stylist, and people were saying orchid, pinky purple. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Someone asked how I choose the color, and I basically don't. It depends on what was underneath it. It changes the color because we don't bleach it all the way out. Actually, this time she didn't bleach it at all. And I kind of sometimes go in with an idea, a pinkish color. I did want pink, and this is kind of a purpley pink. So I like it.
No, it's really pretty. And your lipstick matches.
It does. I don't always match my lipstick to my hair, only when it won't clash with my outfit. And it doesn't today. And of course, when I had blue hair, I didn't have blue lipstick.
Right.
Also,
good thing.
I know. Someone on Instagram today, after I posted the picture, said, "Oh, that hair color is going to look great with your green ranunculus."
Oh,
and I didn't know.
It really does.
I didn't know what I was going to wear today, and so I went home and I put on a few things, and I remembered her comment, so I put on the green ranunculus. So thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't write down what your name was, but thank you so much.
It does. This must be opposite each other on the color wheel or something.
It must be.
Really.
Michaela would know if she was here.
Looks nice. So. Yeah, and it's today was weird. It was rainy but a little muggy.
Yes.
And it felt warm inside my house, so I just wanted to wear something light and not sweaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you've been crazy busy recently.
Crazy busy. It's funny. I was talking to Kim from the Knitting Posse, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to stay away from you." And I said, "Maybe you should, because I've had some interesting luck lately." I got called for jury duty, and this is my second time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a local, like a Westchester County, instead of the big downtown one that I've done before. But anyway, and then Teddy got neutered, and he did fine. Everything's fine, but he had to wear the cone of shame, and then he also had to wear the donut because he was quite persistent in trying to figure out what was going on down there. So. And it's funny, over time, like he probably wore it for 12 days. My husband insisted that he actually really liked those.
Oh, wow.
He let us put them on and take them off. And he does not like to be handled, even though we've done our best since we've had him to handle him a lot. But he loved his cone and his donut. So anyway, go figure. He's doing fine. And then I got rear-ended, on another rainy day.
Ugh.
It just was so shocking, It's just like something you just don't see coming, obviously. And I was stopped, and someone ran into the back of my car. So I was actually on the phone with my daughter on speakerphone, of course. So she kind of heard the whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was a very weird experience. So
it's always a big fear for me, especially near my house when I have to turn left into my street because there's a big curve behind, like up the street a little bit. And my daughter actually
was. Have to wait.
Yes, she was rear-ended once there, and I was almost rear-ended.
And those people are going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're going so fast.
Yeah, this guy wasn't going very fast, but anyway, so I have to get my car fixed.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been busy. Oh, and my dad has been, I don't know what you would call
under
it.
the weather, kind of.
Sick. Hi, Dad. He does watch occasionally. He just had some really serious health problems, and better now, but a big deal for everyone, and we're all set now. But yeah, it was a big deal. So,
it's a lot.
Yeah. So not much knitting. and I don't have any FOs, so Kim will be taking over for that section. But do you want to do what we're wearing first?
Sure.
Oh, and this is a podcast all about knitting, in case you were wondering.
I've done a little crocheting recently, but I'm not a crocheter.
There
so
you go.
A little crocheting. Sometimes you talk about sewing, but you haven't done that recently.
I haven't done any sewing lately, mostly because my craft room, you may think that I am neat and tidy, and for the most part, like, important things are neat and tidy, but when we go to a yarn thing or I shop or there's some event, stuff just gets put on the floor. And honestly, I couldn't actually reach my sewing machine. So there's just no room for sewing.
Yeah.
I do have some reading to talk about, though.
Oh, nice.
And watching a little TV and
cool.
Yeah, just to decompress.
Oh, I did want to mention.
So not much knitting.
I did want to mention we recently had our March Cable 3 Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know, we have channel memberships here on the YouTube channel. You don't have to be a member to see our regular content, but if you become a member, you get to see extra content. The first level are the knit ones, and everybody, including the knit ones, get early access to our videos, at least 24 hours if possible. And also there's a little icon so we can, also because they get early access and they can watch the videos early, and there's a little icon saying that they're a member, then we can reply to their comments sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second level, we also post other pictures or updates or, outtakes from videos that don't make it into the actual video. And then finally, those are the Pearl 2s. And then the Cable 3s get a monthly Zoom with us. And it's really fun.
It is really fun. It's become one of my most favorite things about the channel.
Yeah.
Because it's our knitting group.
Yeah.
It's small, maybe fewer than 15 people each time. And the same people, so we get to know what people are working on. We get to know a little bit about their lives. We feel more free to share about our lives, and it's just
there's no agenda really.
No, it's great.
So this time we had 13 of us, 13 plus us, so there was 15. I'm just going to mention people because it was just so fun. It was, I don't know, it's always special. But Carmen was joining us from Spain. She almost always joins us. Jill from Florida, Margaret from Yorktown, just down the street. Have we met Margaret? We must have.
Margaret's been in the store. Okay, hi, Margaret.
So. Hi, Margaret. Kathy from Montana is always on.
She knit a beautiful porcelain sweater. It's just beautiful. And one of my favorite things about this group is that, we end up talking about patterns and talking about what people are wearing, talking about what people are knitting. And so I try to keep track of all the patterns that we discuss and put those on our Facebook page, which is also a members only for all the members Facebook page.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And are you knitting properly? And so I really love that, inspiration and just, stuff that I might have missed on Ravelry or Instagram. So that's cool.
It works out really well because she keeps track of all that while we're on the Cable 3 Zoom. Then Anne from Ohio, Tara from Kansas, but Tara had to leave early, so we didn't really get to.
And she was in the car, yeah?
She was in
waiting.
a car. I'm assuming she was a passenger.
Yes.
But we met Tara and her daughters at Rhinebeck this last year.
Yeah, and they're all knitters.
Sue was also on but had to leave, we think. Sorry, Sue. We just got talking, and usually I have to remember to do this next time. I usually try to say, does anybody have to leave so that we can talk to them first? But anyway, sorry about that, Sue and Tara. And then Pat from Maryland signed on a little bit. Everybody knows Pat,
Hi,
famous
Pat.
YouTuber now.
Yeah.
And then we had some new people. We had Jennifer from Colorado and Luna from the UK. So welcome. And we also had special guests.
We did, who missed the Petite Knit show and tell.
Yes,
correct?
One of them missed the Petite Knit Cal show and tell, and that was Eileen from West Nyack, also just across the river.
Yeah, across the river.
You can probably see her house from, from your house.
Throw a rock
from the beach club.
Right.
And then we also had 2 people miss the 15,000 subscriber party. And so we invited them. What happened was they would message us or email us after the fact because they didn't watch the announcement in time. And so they would say, oh, darn, I missed it. And so we would say, well, you want to join our Cable 3 Zoom this month? So we also had Yael from Ontario and Eileen from Rhode Island joined us. And it was really fun.
It was really fun.
It was. So anyway, that was that. Jonna had to leave early.
I did.
So I kept talking for about a half hour.
Yeah.
But we still made it happen. And then, do you want to announce this?
Oh, sure. The local yarn shop day, which unfortunately I will miss. I will be out of town. It's April 27th from 12 to 4 here at Pick Up Every Stitch. And Kelsey of Primrose Yarn Company and her friend Kimberly McGallandon, who is a designer and has a YouTube channel called Knit the Rainbow. And Kim will be here.
Yes, I will be here.
That'll be fun. Oh, do you want to talk about this, by the way?
Sure, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. So Karen, who's one of the owners of Pick Up Every Stitch, created this pattern for local yarn shop day out of Primrose Yarn Company yarn that they just started carrying. So it's similar to like a spin cycle, would you say? But it's super soft, like next to skin, around your neck soft, and beautiful.
What's the fiber content?
It is 100% American superwash merino, locally mill spun, hand dyed in York, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the Homestead Sport 2-ply, 250 yards.
So this is the 1 skein version of the little scarf.
Is it a triangle?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the 2 skein version. And I don't know if I can take this off. I don't want to mess it up. Maybe the one behind you, we can take it off? Oh, okay.
It's got a really beautiful shawl pin in it.
But it will be a free pattern with a purchase of Primrose yarn on local yarn shop day. And the pattern actually doesn't have a name yet. And so Karen has kind of an idea what she wants to name it. But we're going to ask you, our viewers, to suggest names.
A name.
So it looks like it increases kind of from the center. It's beautiful. And the yarn just makes this beautiful stripy pattern. Love it.
I love these little kerchiefs. You know me. I love accessories. I just feel like you look instantly put together. You know? I probably can't put this back on correctly, but
it's super cute though. Love it.
That is definitely not the right
So definitely join us here at Pick Up Every Stitch for a local yarn shop day, or go to your local yarn shop near you and support those local yarn shops.
Yeah, maybe I can get to a yarn shop in Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So those are 2 of the samples behind us.
I do not know how this goes back on.
Want me to try?
Oh, I think you bend this. Because there's no other way. It's like a math puzzle. There's no other way besides bending this.
There you go.
There.
You got it.
Okay, good
Beautiful.
enough. And this is a no frills, my petite knit. And Felicia was wearing it when I walked in the door. I was like, "Oh, is that a no frills?" And she said, "Yeah." And it's just one of my favorite sweaters too. It's an easy pattern. It's easy to wear.
It's knit in Moondrake Fua Fua, held with Pika Pika.
And it's a great lemon yellow.
Love it.
Update on the lemon tree. I have tons of lemons.
Oh gosh.
Tons of blossoms, tons of lemons. I don't know what I'm doing right. It's very happy. I gave my daughter an orange tree for her birthday, and her tree has oranges on it.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually like a mandarin orange.
Wow.
And I gave another friend a kumquat tree, and hers has not bloomed yet, but I have high hopes.
Wow.
Anyway, so for anyone who's wondering, I think we got a few comments about people not getting lemons.
Oh yeah.
And our lemons, but it's not a lemon. It is doing great.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's fun. And then behind me here, everybody probably recognizes it. This is the Instant Crush by Joji Locatelli, and this version is knit in Biche Bouche, La Grosse Silk, and Mohair, and it's gorgeous.
By our beloved Beth, who
works Beth
here.
knit it. Oh, fun.
Works here at Pick Up Every Stitch. I'm surprised it's not pink.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of, well, it's not really pink. Behind Jonna is the Mia sweater, and I was told that you actually have to put Mia sweater in the search bar to find it, and it has a really interesting pattern on it in the raglan and all the way down the sleeves and down the sides. So it's really gorgeous, and it's by Cheryl Mokhtari, Mokhtari, and her shop is called Coco Amour. I'll put that in the captions. And this is an interesting combination that you wouldn't expect. Both are art yarns. Merino Cloud held with art yarns Silk and Mohair. Look.
Really
so the
pretty.
Silk and Mohair is pinkish reddish.
It is very pink.
And then the Merino Cloud is more orange, a little variegated. And so those held together. Wow, interesting. And look at how gorgeous it is. Love that. And then one more. I didn't want to put it on the mannequins because it looked so wintry.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Oh,
gorgeous.
and this was what I bought yarn for in our last episode, and oh my
Yes.
goodness, the color combination.
Wow.
This is the Norma by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and it's part of the Esayer collection. The Esayer
Archives.
Archives.
Esayer Archives, exactly.
Collection.
And this is knit exactly in the yarns that are suggested, so I didn't
Mhm.
write them down. They're all Esayer yarns.
Mhm.
So
And oh my goodness,
yeah.
it is
Ugh,
beautiful.
it's so beautiful. Now
This
I want to
is-
knit one.
I don't know if this is a dark navy or black, and then kind of a steely
Grayish
blue.
blue almost, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the oatmeal.
That it looks like it has some variation in it also.
It's so
So
beautiful.
is it variation or variegation? So
There's differences.
I know. So my husband used the word verbiage this morning. I was like, verbiage or verbiage? I'm always interested
Interesting.
in.
Yeah. I always look that kind of thing up.
Yep, me too.
My husband, I'm a Google like fanatic. My husband has this
I
aversion.
want a T-shirt that says "Google it" because everyone asks me
Yes.
every question.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I just Google it.
I know.
Everyone thinks I know everything. I'm like, no, I just Google it.
And I tell my husband all the time, he'll say something or ask me something, and I'll say, well, Google it. And then he
I know.
doesn't do it. And so
Right.
okay, fine, I'll Google it. And then
I
I find the
know.
answer.
Actually, verbiage has sort of a negative connotation, which I thought was interesting,
Oh,
that I didn't really know
really?
about. And verbiage is sort of a
Oops.
derivative.
Are you guys
of,
okay back there? That's
That's
okay.
okay.
It is a
Anyway,
local yarn shop,
off
by
on
the
a
way.
tangent. We're not even talking about knitting.
Exactly.
Were we talking about what we were wearing?
No, that was samples.
No, I mean, that was the next thing we were going to talk
Oh,
about.
yes,
what we
yes,
were
yes.
wearing.
That's the
And
next
how are we
thing.
doing on time since our sand timers?
Oh, yeah.
We got a
We had a
little
false
off.
start.
Yeah. We had a microphone snafu.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So I guess I'll just talk about the Katydid bags really fast.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I hate bending over.
That's okay.
All right,
It
I'm bending
happens.
over.
But I don't even know the whole story of this.
So Katie just messaged me and said, hey, would you guys like to pick out some bags? And we could do a promotion on your channel. And I said, oh, yeah, let's do it. And I think you were busy and hadn't seen the email or the message or something. So I went on there and I picked this one out for Kim.
Yay.
I thought it was the most Kim-like. And then I picked out this one. It's got mushrooms all over it.
Love it.
And one thing about her bags, many things about her bags, they are incredibly well made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm looking at this, and as a sewist,
If I stitched this, my stitches would have all kinds of mistakes.
yeah, I mean all of her seams match. It has a nice vinyl bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then
it opens up so you can
Uh-huh.
square sit it, and it
Yep.
has drawstrings.
it has a drawstring, and then it has this wrist strap too.
Love it.
Yep.
And there's pockets inside.
There are, and they're just everything is perfectly
Mhm.
lined up and straight. And there's her cute little label.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to say one thing about her fabric choices is they're kind of different than your, average knitting bag. So she has sort of a goth theme, and so if you're looking for something unusual,
Mm-hmm.
definitely check out her website. So I love this mushroom one.
It's
They're
great.
probably all poisonous mushrooms or something. So I don't know.
No, there's
No,
not. I
there's
saw
a truffle.
chanterelles.
Yeah,
and-
there's a
no,
truffle.
no, no. They look-
Enoki, honey fungus, champignon, oyster,
they're
oyster
edible.
mushrooms. They are edible. They're not, but yeah. Anyway,
Is it windy outside?
I don't know
keep
if it's
hearing.
windy or raining.
Oh, is it pouring down rain again?
This is like a flat metal roof or something.
Mhm.
It must be. The whole building was shaking. So, and to add more interest to my crazy week, we had an earthquake in New York. And I'm from California, and you're from Washington State.
I had never been in, and I didn't even
and you were
feel this one.
driving,
I was
and she
driving
didn't
both
feel
times.
it.
I didn't feel
Well,
them.
it is not my first rodeo, but I've not felt an earthquake here ever.
Mhm, mhm.
And I was upstairs in the bathroom, and my window faces the road. And, we hear trucks go by and they rumble,
Mhm.
but it doesn't make my house shake. But I heard the rumbling, and it's like mice moving furniture up,
I
up
know,
there.
right?
I heard the rumbling, and I think a truck did go by, but then the house started to shake. And, you have that few moments of, what on earth is
And then it doesn't stop,
and then it doesn't
continues.
stop. And then I thought, okay, I'm on the third floor. I'm getting under a doorway. So I did that. And it stopped after a while. And I ran downstairs and I said, we had an earthquake to my dad. And I don't think he noticed. We have a neighborhood Facebook page. So I got right on there. I'm not a big social media or Facebooker, but That's one place if you want immediate information locally. That is one place to get it. So I write an earthquake with a question mark, and sure enough, we had a 4.7 or 8 centered in New Jersey, and then we had at least 18 aftershocks. One of which I felt, which was a 4. And you were again
driving. So I didn't feel either of them.
So she didn't feel either of them. So yeah, jury duty. I got rear-ended. My dog got neutered. There was an earthquake and an eclipse.
Dad's not feeling well. Yes,
Dad's not feeling well, and we had an eclipse.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting couple of weeks.
It was.
So where were you for the eclipse?
My stomach's growling.
Oh no.
And I ate.
Well, it's not as loud as what's ever going on the roof. So
sorry for all the noises. I mean, Michaela couldn't even stop this today.
No.
I mean, yeah.
So where were you during the eclipse?
I was home.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and by the way, if you're a new viewer, who's Michaela? We've been muddling through this for the last 2.5 years, and finally, one of my daughter's friends, I found out that she went to film school and everything. She knows a lot about the technology and everything. So she's been helping us the last 2 shoots.
She is a really cool, fun person.
Yeah.
Very creative.
She's especially helping us with our sound because it's just been all over the place. If you listen from the very beginning, which I recommend, start at the beginning and watch from episode 1.
Or start at the newest one and work your way back.
You could do that too. But that's who Michaela is, and she's not here today.
And we'll put her Instagram in the show notes below. And everything we talk about, in case you missed something, is in the show notes.
Yes.
Or will be.
Yes. Including this, which we have to finish now.
Yes. Okay. And so she has a special discount code from April 19th to May 19th, and it's Kim and Jonna 10. And we'll put the link below. Yes,
we'll put the link below, and I'll probably put another little link above Jonna's head as well, so you can click right over there.
We have a couple Katydid bags. In fact, I think the very first knitting bag I ever bought was from a trunk show here at Pick Up Every Stitch, and I still use it. It is zipper top, and it's deep and kind of narrow, and I use it for socks, and it's great.
And because of Katie, she's local, by the way. That's how we know her.
Yep.
Because of Katie, that's how we met Kevin and Ray.
That's right.
Because we went to
go see her at
Westport
Yarns, and she was having another trunk show there, and she said, "Oh, Kevin and Ray from Needles at the Ready just left," and she doesn't even know who they were at this point, and I bolt out the door. We run them down in the parking lot in their car.
They were so nice.
They were so nice.
And they're still so nice.
And now we know them.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking, oh my gosh,
crazy
what they must have thought. But anyway, they were so gracious and sweet and got out of the car and talked to us because we were fangirling. And yes, your stomach is growling.
Oh my goodness, seriously.
So thank you, Katie, for the bag.
Yes, thank you. I love my bag. I can't wait to use it.
And if I didn't love it so much, we could give it away.
It exactly matches what you're wearing.
I actually really like it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
We could give away the older ones.
Wide opening.
It does. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So exciting. Okay, now we can get to what we're wearing.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So distracting.
So, and I do include timestamps in case you don't want to hear about your earthquakes and eclipses and neutering and
exactly
rear-ending. And I didn't get a parking ticket. There's a win.
Did I pay for parking?
Did you?
Oh no.
Oh shoot.
It's too late now.
Oh no.
It's fine. I think I forgot.
I did it before I even got out of the car.
My app was updating when I was on the way in.
So you got distracted.
Yes. And then I came in and then I forgot. So
I have gotten parking tickets here in this parking lot.
Yeah. I'm going to get a parking ticket. Oh, well.
Sorry.
Anyway.
And it makes the yarn that much more expensive, right?
But it's worth it.
It is.
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right. What are you wearing?
Oh, gosh. Okay. I already mentioned someone on my Instagram when they saw a picture with, did I say it? Or the other take? I can't remember which take I said it. But I posted a picture of my hair and somebody said, oh, it looks really good with your green ranunculus. So that's why I'm wearing it. This is my green ranunculus. It's actually my favorite ranunculus. It fits the best out of all of them. They all fit, but they fit differently because one I made it a little more less positive ease. And one I have a lot of positive ease, but it's shorter. Anyway, this is my favorite. And this is made with Travel Knitter Tanami 4-ply, held with Lana Grossa silk hair. And of course, I got the yarns here. Where else? And I have to say, it fits the best. I did do the 3/4 sleeves, and I did do the I-cord, and I did the
short rows,
angled short row. So it angles, and I love it. But I do have to say, I like doing the wide neckline, but I think from doing this one, I realized from now on, I'm going to go down a needle size
Mhm.
for the neckline. I don't know if it says you're supposed to, does it?
I don't think so.
And then go back up to the needle I'm going to use for the
Mm.
rest of it, because the neck was a little wide.
Mhm.
It was kind of very flash dancey.
Mhm.
If you know what Flash Dance is, the
Right. You
movie,
have to be
of a certain age.
of a certain age. Yes.
And so it was fun, and you know, who cares if it's hanging off my shoulder, but it was a little annoying. So I did get a very, very thin piece of black elastic, and I strung it through the neckline, tied a little knot, and
You
it
can't even
just
tell.
stays put.
Mhm.
Yes, because also the mohair has a black base to it. Like the core of the
Okay.
mohair is
Okay.
black,
So it really blends in.
or I think it is black or very dark green. So
Mhm.
anyway, I love this ranunculus. And
Mhm.
if you want to know more about it, oh, this was knit from the original pattern. I have
Mhm.
never knit one.
With the new
The
pattern.
original pattern was one size fits all.
Mhm.
And so I know now from knitting that, based on the yarn I use and the needle size, how much ease it's going to have. I
Mhm.
just know now because I've made so many. Have I made 7 or 8? I don't know. So I've never, I just made that one. I don't know what size it
I
corresponds
think
to.
I think to the second size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There you have it.
Yep.
From Jonna. So that's what I'm wearing, my ranunculus, and I love it, and it looks great with my orchid hair.
It does.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Cumulus tee by Petite Knit.
I love it.
Yeah, it's one of my most favorite garments. It's knit in Knitting for Olive pure silk. And someone asked me today here in the yarn shop what needle size it was knit on. And I thought, oh, I think a 4. Well, I was wrong. It's a US 2.5.
Oh, wow.
So it's a tiny needle. It was a lot of knitting, but it's very enjoyable knitting. It's just round and round. It does have an I-cord, applied I-cord bind off on the bottom and around the neckline and around the sleeves. And it's this very comfortable garment. It's soft.
It's a perfect size too. The perfect positive ease.
I made the
not
size
too big.
2. It does have quite a bit of positive ease. I want to say 5 inches. I think the pattern calls for between like 1.25 and 3.5 inches of positive ease. I probably have 4 to 5 inches of positive ease, but it's very comfortable and I love it. So, is there anything else I want to say about it? Let's see. A US 2.5 is a 3mm needle, and yeah, it's in the color cream.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I wear it all the time.
Yeah, I didn't write down any of those details, so you have to, I don't know if I said it, you have to go to my Ravelry to find out all
It
the
is
details.
so soft. You should touch it.
Is.
It's very
beautiful,
soft, right?
Yeah, it's very soft.
And it doesn't have that weight that cotton has.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very light.
Light and airy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Anyway, love it. One of my favorites.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
So fun. So what's next?
All of your FOs.
I don't
And
have
I will
that
just
many.
sit here and knit.
I don't have that many. I'm so worried I'm going to mess this up though. Of course, I'm knitting a lacy. I mean, it's not lacy like you would think of lace, but
Wow, it's a stitch pattern though.
yeah. Anyway, so I do have a few FOs. The first one is the Primrose inspired steering wheel cover that I talked about knitting. I said that in the last video, and there's no way I could cut it out. I kept saying knitting. In the last video, every single time I talked about it, I said knitting instead of crocheting.
Crocheted.
Oh, goodness.
It's beautiful, by the way.
But this is the blanket, which I'll talk about in a minute as a whip. But if you don't know, I drive a flower beetle. It's a red beetle, Volkswagen Beetle, with big flower, kind of pop art flower stickers all over it, and peace signs and smiley faces. And so I saw this Arne and Carlos Primrose throw a few years ago. I bought the pattern and the yarn here at Pick Up Every Stitch in 2020.
During the pandemic.
I think it was before I knew the pandemic was going to happen. And I intended to crochet, see I'm doing it again, to crochet this on my summer vacation in 2020, which never happened. But I bought it's the original John Arbon Knit by Numbers DK. And the original, what kind of yarn is it?
Falklands Merino.
Falklands Merino.
Organic Falklands Merino.
Yes. So I started doing this. I did it a little bit that summer and then just put it down because I really don't crochet, so it's not relaxing for me. And then this year I just wanted to get a bunch of, I don't have a lot of whips, but I wanted to get them off my plate, off my list of things to do. So I really started working on this recently. I mean, this is all I crochet on at home. But I had this idea. This is going to go in my flower beetle. I had this idea to make a steering wheel cover, so I did it. I think it was when we filmed last time, I had this in the car, the blanket. So I wrapped it around the steering wheel and realized that I needed 17 flowers to go around and 2, like the
by
circumference.
2, 17 by 2?
By 2, yep. And so I think that next week I started it. And I started it on Monday and finished it on Wednesday. And I sewed it on my steering wheel. It is perfect. So I got it all ready. And then the next day my car died, broke down. Or no, it was the same day. The same afternoon, my car broke down again.
And you didn't know if it was like a terminal thing or a quick thing?
Exactly, because it took so long to get it fixed last time. But luckily it was a quicker fix and they fixed it already. But it's so beautiful. So I don't have it here. It's in my car. I sewed it on.
Yeah.
So when they had to come and pick up my car, I said, I just put a new steering wheel cover on. Please don't get it dirty.
Right. No oil on it. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so it's really, I just love it. It makes me so happy every single day to drive it. And that's one FO. So
I wonder if you could Scotch guard it or something, since you can't take it off and launder it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't put lotion on your hands. You're not really a lotion person, are you?
I'm not, no. Not really a lotion person. So the next thing that I finished is the Thea Bag. You might not remember this, but when we first became affiliates of Twice Sheared Sheep, so we're affiliates of Twice Sheared Sheep, and they sell notions, yarn. Yeah, so they sent us, they approached us, right?
It's a
very small
woman-owned
business in Idaho. And anything that they can hand make, they make it themselves.
Right.
The row counters and things, stitch markers. So we became affiliates, and they sent us a few little free things, and we liked them. That's why we became affiliates, because we liked those things that they sent us. But then I thought, well, I want to try some more things. So I ordered a kit, a Thea Bag kit. The pattern is by Sarah Korth, and it's a crochet bag. Crochet again. What am I thinking? But it came with enough yarn to make the bag and handles. And the yarn that it's their yarn. It's everyday merino. I'm pretty sure it's a worsted weight. And you pick out your own colors. By the way, I looked it up on the website. You can still buy the kit if you want to buy a kit. The yarn is really, really soft. I mean, it's mostly superwash, or it is superwash. And so what I did is I gave the yarn to my mom. I was thinking, well, I could crochet the squares, but I already have a crochet project that's 2 years old. So my mom crochets exclusively. So I gave her the yarn, and she made all the squares. And she brought them to me, I think in January, and said, I'm done. So then I said I would actually crochet them together. They're not sewn together. Crochet them together. And I think in the last episode I mentioned, or no, was it? Yes, in the last episode I had mentioned that I thought, because I hadn't read the pattern, that you were supposed to crochet them together with the main color, but I didn't have enough. And then I was trying to decide what color to use. And then I also posted on Instagram asking people what color I should use. But then when I really read the pattern, I realized you are supposed to use a contrasting color. So I chose the pink. And I think it turned out perfectly. And the bottom, there's 4 different styles of squares. The bottom are solid squares. And then there's flowered squares, 2 different types of flowers, and then the just traditional granny square. And then I sewed the handles on, and I love it. Isn't it so cute?
So nice.
It's so cute.
It'd be a good
well, definitely a market bag or something like that.
That's what I was thinking, but it'd be good to bring to the beach.
Beach, yep.
Yeah. There are holes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't want to put anything too small in it.
So if I was a sewist, I would make a lining, and who knows, I might sometime, or I might ask a friend who sews to make a lining for it someday. But anyway, so maybe next time she has her sewing machine out. But I love it. So if you want to make a Thea bag, then go on to Twice Sheared Sheep and use our affiliate link. I'll put it above Jonna's head right now. And it doesn't increase the price of your kit, but we do get a little kickback for it. It helps support the channel and making these videos. And so I love it. And I think I'm going to give it to my daughter, Jenny. She's the one who's been having a lot of health issues.
Yeah.
And she saw it and just fell in love with it.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good.
Okay. Last project, I promise. I had mentioned in the last video also that I was going to knit Oslo hats for everyone in my German class. because I can't take my crochet blanket with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in German, I usually, especially during the beginning of class,
Mm-hmm.
I crochet or knit. And so what's the easiest thing on earth to make? An Oslo hat. And so I used the yarn that left over from my champagne cardigan, also by Petite Knit. And, oh gosh, I can't remember what it is now. It's Isair Maryland, held with Lang Yarns Mohair Luxe. I made the women's medium. I used a US 5. It calls for a US 4, but I always...
You're a tight knitter.
Yes, I'm a tight knitter. So I used a US 5, which is 3.75 millimeter. And it turned out perfectly. Oh, yeah. But I don't really know my German teacher that well. I mean, I know her as a German teacher, but not just as a regular person.
Here, let me hold it.
Yeah.
So we're looking at pom-poms.
I came in here today.
Beautiful selection of pom-poms.
And picked out a few pom-poms. And so I need your opinion. Should I use, this is the Jonna favorite.
Yeah,
what color did you call this?
Mink.
Like a mink color. It's really beautiful. Just classic.
There's no minks that color. I don't know what I called it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. And then there's just a black, and it has little white tips. You probably can't see it, but it has
and this yarn, I don't know if you can see it, but it has tiny sparkles in it.
Tiny bit of sparkle.
Yeah.
And then this one, I think I might have another one of these at home, but it's just a multicolored.
Looks like crayons.
Yep, exactly. Like it was dipped in Kool-Aid, different colors of Kool-Aid. And I think this is my favorite, and it actually matches my green ranunculus. But
and it's black tipped.
It has black tips, and it's green. So anyway, if you have any suggestions, what I'll probably do is just bring it and the 4 options to German class. What day is today?
I thought you had German today. No, we had voice lessons today.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow. And I'll ask her which one she likes the best. So yeah, so that's my other finished object. Not that many no big projects, but that's it. So what's next?
All right. Works in progress.
Yes. You can go next because I feel like I've been talking nonstop.
I guess I'll start with what is in my lap, which is my dad, the hospital that we were at is just around the corner, actually. So I ran up here and I said, I just need yarn. I need needles. I don't want to think about what I'm doing, but I'm spending a lot of time sitting in a hospital room. And we decided on another Manhattan hat because that's now my jam as far as hats go. And it is a 1x1 rib, and it's a tubular cast on. Now, this is a pretty dark yarn. It's actually a really, really dark brown. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. But I used the tubular cast on video by Jackie Rose for her shrug. Either the Saturday, I think it's the Saturday shrug.
Yeah, you loved that one.
And oh my goodness, I really, really love it's a no fail. It's not is this twisted? Is it not twisted? Is this a purl stitch? Is this a knit stitch? It is a no fail. And I used that cast on, and it's perfect. So thank you, Jackie Rose, for that video. And yeah, it's just 1x1 rib. This is actually the right side will actually become the wrong side. So fortunately, I'll just use 1 skein of yarn to make this hat. But if you have to use 2 skeins of yarn, you just want to make sure to weave in your ends on the wrong side of the hat, not the right side of the hat, because I made that mistake the first time. I think this is number 5, Manhattan number 5. And one thing I love about this hat is then when you get to the specified length, so it comes in 3 styles. So no brim, 1 fold, or 2 folds. And then the decreases are super interesting. They're in every round. So you never have to wonder, is this a decrease round or a knit plain round? But Twice Sheared Sheep has a fantastic row marker that has D and K on it. It's just got the 2 little beads. So you always know if you're on a knit, a plain round or a decrease round. So anyway, it has a cool, very hipster, pointy crown.
Yeah, it's kind of a flat point though. So I think I mentioned this, like
I
want to give instructions to people who I make it for.
I want the point like flat. So I always look at the hat before I put it on. Like
parallel with your ears.
Yes. Yes. Because it would look weird if it was off center.
Askew.
Askew, yes.
Another great word.
Another great word. That is a fantastic word. So anyway, this yarn, oh my goodness. And you've used Walcott yarns before.
Yes.
This is Walcott Yarns Origin.
It just looks so round and bouncy.
It's round, it's bouncy, it's super soft. It's 50% Argentinian merino and 50% fine Highland wool. 100% free-spirited. But the cool thing is it's 210 yards on this worsted skein, so I only need one skein.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this color is called Beaver's Den, and it is a super, super dark brown. So I have a cream colored one, a very dark navy blue one, and now I will have a brown one. So this is my mindless knit. So I'm just about to start the decreases, but oh my gosh, did you feel that? It is the softest, squishiest.
Wow, but it's really like
it is
substantial.
It is. So
I love it.
I'm excited about that. So that is my first work in progress.
I love it. Nice. Okay, I guess I'll do a work in progress then.
Okay.
All right,
How are we doing on?
So my first whip is the Primrose throw that I already held up. And basically, I realized I'm not going to have enough yarn to do the exact size that Arne and Carlos wanted. I think they wanted it 21 or 22 flowers wide by 26 flowers long. And I bought this yarn so long ago. I'm going to run out, but it's just a throw for my car. It could be a lap blanket. Who cares? Doesn't matter how big it is. So anyway, I said I'm making it in John Arbin Knit by Numbers DK, the original. I purchased 14 different colors, and I'm using a USE hook, which is a 3.5 millimeter, which is a suggested hook. And actually, when Jonna saw this the first time, she's like, "Your flowers are so," I don't know if you said small or dense or
yes,
firm.
So she is just as tight a crocheter as she is a knitter. Like, yeah, the stuff is bulletproof.
I think they are smaller than the ones that
crochets. You're just used to crochet being sort of open and lacy.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
It is. It's
really soft. It hasn't been blocked.
No. I mean, some parts of it have been steam blocked, but
just
the new flowers haven't.
It's very weighty.
It is.
Yeah.
So what I think I'm going to do, I'm getting close. I have a list. I thought it was 100 flowers, but I had used a random color generator. You're supposed to use, first of all, like scrap yarn. I don't have a lot of scrap yarn. Oh, to figure out, Arne and Carlos just reach in a bag and pull one out. I'm sure they're a little more selective than that.
I bet they are.
But I used a random color generator to pick the first 50 flowers. And I even modified those a little bit. I kept track. I wanted to make sure there are the same amount approximately of yellow centers, of pink outsides. There's 3 different color rounds. But anyway, once I did that 50, with the random color generator, now I just repeat them over and over. So I counted them yesterday because I was going to do this video, and I literally right this second have 200 flowers.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
So this is the finished edge on the top. And Arne and Carlos also actually, see how it's scalloped? They also want you to crochet a half flower and then put an edge around it. But I love the scalloped edge. I am going to leave it with the raw scalloped edge.
So are your flowers smaller than theirs?
Yes.
Yes. So you need to make more.
Yeah. So this.
It is heavy.
This is how wide it's supposed to be. And then it's supposed to be a little bit longer. But I'm not going to have enough yarn. So, and this is the edge. You can see. Let's turn it over so the other side up so people can see. So now I'm crocheting this direction. So you can see some of this row has additional flowers.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I do the first 2 rounds, and then I look somewhere in this row and even the next row and figure out where I want to put the next flower. Because the third round, really it's the 4th round, the third color connects the flowers together.
It is gorgeous.
So so this is exactly 200 flowers. So I'm getting close to the end of my list of 50. I don't know how I ended up with extra. But what I'm going to do is weigh the blanket, and then, actually I think I weighed it already. Did I weigh it at home?
Oh yeah.
Yes, so far
618 grams.
I've used 618 grams of the 14 hanks of yarn I have, and the 14 hanks would be 1,400 grams. So I'm about a little less than halfway, right? So now what I was supposed to be the width is going to be the length, and it'll be, now I'm going the width. But I'm going to weigh the remaining yarn, which I have not done yet, and then see when I start another 50 how much I can get through, I guess. So how many more flowers, I'm going to try to figure out how many more flowers I can make. Because it's not just the yarn, then every yarn has 6 ends and I can't reuse the ends.
Right.
There's no way to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to make my ends shorter and shorter and shorter, but at some point you have to be able to weave it in. So anyway, but I love my blanket and I really am working exclusively on this. So it will be done eventually. And everyone's going to ask about the list of sweaters that I have in my queue. And I am going to pick them up again. I think in the last episode I talked about that I swatched a Soldotna, which today I was thinking if I had a Soldotna, I would wear it today.
I know. Would have been good
and
weather
hers are
for
too
that.
small, otherwise I would have borrowed hers. Hers are tiny. And I swatched for the Samling, and I also have swatched for the coffee bean cardigan. But I really just want to finish this. So this will be finished. And I am working on one other thing to take out of the house to work on. But besides the hats for the German class, tomorrow's the last German class for the semester. So I'm just going to start knitting the rest of the hats in the summer for next fall. Anyway, so
and everyone's going to know Grandma Kimmy made that blanket. And, you know, for the next 200 years.
Yes.
Grandma Kimmy, she used to dye her hair crazy colors and she made this blanket.
I know. I love it so much.
So beautiful.
It's so me.
It is so you.
Yeah.
It is.
So that's it, my crochet blanket. I'm sorry if I said knit a million times when I was talking about the crochet blanket. That's just what I do.
No.
Okay.
Right. We never take a break when I can just gracefully look like I have the next project in my lap, but no, I always have to lean over and grab it. So there's a little bit of a story behind this. This is my second Soho Square, a pattern by Jackie Rose.
Let me hold one side for you.
And I love the first one so much that I came and bought more yarn. This is 3 of the colors are Moondrake, Fua Fua. And this is the Fairy Godmother color. And this is kind of what started the whole thing. And this is Sand, and this is Plum. Now there is a 4th color, and that's why I haven't picked this up lately. This is great hospital knitting also, or car knitting. There's 3 or 4 variations, at least 3 in the pattern. So there's,
I think you said there's 4 now.
A wink, which is small, square. Then there's this, which is the shawl. I don't remember. And then there's a wrap. Then there's an even bigger one, I think.
And then there's also there's a skinny one
wing,
now.
Right, which is another variation on the pattern. So if you've made a Pearl Soho half and half triangles wrap, it's similar construction. It does use German short rows. But once you get started, it's kind of mindless knitting. I will say that my I-cord edge ended up being a little bit more flexible than my cast-on edge. So in hindsight, I kind of wish I'd done like a German twisted
It's pretty flexible,
It's not too bad. I think my first one, you ended up going up another needle size for your cast-on.
Yes.
But then you continued with that needle size, so that thing ended up being
huge
and more,
I love it, though. I wear it all the time.
And airy. And it's like wearing a cloud.
It's lovely.
This yarn is cashmere, 70% cashmere, so it is just as luxurious as you might imagine, and super soft. So I kind of like the juxtaposition of these colors with something kind of unexpected and crazy. And the reason why this yarn is in a Ziploc bag is because it's what was handy. But Teddy has his way with this yarn. And I have tried.
Jonna sent me a picture. I'll take it home and try to unwind it or wind it for you.
So this is pretty intact, but there's like 4 strands coming off of it. And this, like I have made some headway.
A mess.
But
oh my goodness.
I know. It's like one of those things you find an end and then you.
But it's so soft.
It's so soft. So this actually is Birdie by Diamond Lane in the color Loam, Loam. But it's this kind of slug green. But I thought it was really, really pretty against the Fairy Godmother and the plum.
And we've taken multiple pictures. It doesn't show up. There's like a glow to this when you see it, and you just can't see it in the pictures.
Because the core of the yarn is a little bit lighter. Now this has a different content than the Fua Fua, which is mostly cashmere. So I'll put it in the show notes below, or I'll put it in my Ravelry. But it's a different
fiber content.
Is it a Surrey alpaca?
Might be, actually. I can't remember now.
So anyway, this is a fun.
You haven't picked it up again since.
Easy. Oh, well, I got discouraged because of Teddy.
And loam isn't listed on their website anymore.
No. And so we contacted
Jackie.
Jackie, and Jackie is sending me another skein. So
Yes.
I won't, you know, it's interesting, all those kind of snafus that's like I could continue knitting on this.
And try to make something out of it for you.
You're bored one day.
Yes.
It's interesting that the things that I'm always so interested in mistakes. You know, why we fix them, if we fix them, how we, you know, if we choose not to fix them, if we frog, you know, it's just this. I'm very interested in the intellectual part of knitting, I guess.
You're
and
the
the
knitting
thought
philosopher.
process,
I've always called you that.
The thought process, you know, why we make what we make. And this whole, I have this dilemma. Sometimes I want to wear and create something that I don't necessarily want to knit. And you really don't have that problem. Sometimes I want to knit something that I don't want to wear. It's just interesting. Anyway, but what made me set this down, I don't need to use loam yet. I have plenty of fairy godmother left to go, but full stop.
It was just discouraging. It was shocking.
And it is. It's just like, oh.
She sent me the picture of
full
it.
Stop. So anyway, I haven't picked that up in a while. But that is definitely a work in progress, and one I'll be picking up in my beautiful bag from Brooklyn General Store. That was the commemorative bag for, what was the yarn festival? A Woolen Affair.
A Woolen Affair, yes.
That we went to during Rhinebeck weekend. Yeah. So this was the commemorative artwork. It's beautiful. It is. There's a T-shirt and a bag. I'm supposed to go to Brooklyn General Store tomorrow. I know, for the Mayak. Yeah, thing. Paola. I mean, this will air. It'll be edited and air after the fact, but Paola is doing an event. It's Brooklyn Yarn Crawl, I guess. So don't look it up because it already happened by the time you see this video. But Paola is going to tell her story of how she ended up in Tibet in the first place. I've heard the Mayak story, but I haven't heard the Paola story from the very beginning. Right, because she's Italian, and then she ended up in the Himalayas. Doing nonprofit work in the Himalayas. And then somehow, by a twist of fate, met Andrea, who was a veterinarian and business partner, not life partner. Right. And they were both interested in helping the Tibetan people. And they first started by making cheese, just helping the Tibetan people, the nomadic people, to make something from their herds of yak that will help you know, produce an income, more of an income, and not just from the meat, but also from the milk. So they don't have to change their nomadic lifestyle. Exactly. So they can keep that nomadic lifestyle and that heritage that they have. And then I guess one day Andrea was like, he's a veterinarian, so he was checking to make sure they're healthy, and he realized that the fur, especially the under fur closest to the skin, is really soft. And at that point, I don't even know, maybe Paola knitted at the time, maybe. Yeah. But he said, maybe we could do something with the fiber. And that's when the whole like exploration began, and they started trying to figure it out. That's an interesting story. So anyway, my husband and I are going to go. Okay. And I'm really excited that he's going to go, because when we went on the Mayak retreat last year, he made best friends with one of the other spouses. Isabel is the knitter, and her husband is Skip. And Paola told me that they're both going. Okay. I don't think they live in New York, but they're both going. So we're gonna have so much fun. That's tomorrow. Great. Yay! Anyway, let's see what's next. You finished with your? I have another whip. That is, the yarn is living in this sweet little bag. Beautiful bag. Did you make that? No, my friend Claudia made it for me. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. It's it looks like Liberty of London print. It's really beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. So in here is my Julie Aslin yarn. So this is the Anatolia. This is the silk mohair, and this is Julie Aslin Fino, and it is merino, cashmere, and silk. This was a bit of a splurge. This is not like me. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, walked out of here with this beautiful cobalt blue. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think this was the only yarn in the whole store that came in cobalt. And I just had this in my head. I need to make a cobalt sweater. So I am making the Oslo sweater by Petite Knit. How many times have I said that today?
I don't know.
Someone asked me or commented, why petite knit? Her patterns are very simple. This is a relatively easy knit, but I think about the sweaters I wear the most often, the most wearable, the most enjoyable to knit, classic styles. I'm not a huge color work person. So anyway, I just love her aesthetic. And this is the Oslo sweater, which is very similar to the Stockholm sweater. And I couldn't tell them apart for the longest time. So this is actually been blocked. So it's not in front of your face. It is super drapey and luxurious and beautiful. There are a few wrinkles in it. Sorry about that. And I did this is one thing I love about the sweater. It's just this wide ribbed neckline that in the pattern it says to pick it up and knit the neckline the very last step. And I didn't because it was just ugly and I didn't really,
And we talked about how you wouldn't know how long to make the sleeves if it's gaping open.
If it's a flash dance sweater,
right,
then your sleeves are going to be shorter
once you
cinch it up. Yeah. So, in answer to the simple question, it is simple, but it's a construction I haven't done before. So you start at the back and you knit this kind of trapezoid shape. Piece. Yeah, and then you pick up stitches along this diagonal, which I think is a really, really beautiful detail.
So the shoulder seams are on the back of the shoulder, actually.
And it's actually really beautiful. Obviously you can see that there's some variation in the yarn. It's variegated. I'm pretty sure variegated is the word. But I haven't had any pooling and I did not alternate skeins. I think the mohair helps with that too a little bit, but isn't it soft?
So it really does pool, but it's attractive pooling.
It's not like wavy gravy, like big splotch right in, across your bust or something like that.
It's not distracting at all. It adds to the charm.
So in all the chaos of my life in the last couple of weeks, I just couldn't sit down and pick up stitches. So I called Kim and I said, will you meet me at Starbucks and can we just pick up stitches? And you just need to hold my hand. And I did.
I didn't really have to hold her hand.
No, but I just needed to sit still. I think when I'm at home, I've got 10,000 things to do and check on and running up and down the stairs to check on my dad. So anyway, I did sit down and she had one of these twice sheared sheeped row counters, which I absolutely love. And I have to make decreases but this is the only way I can keep track of, I'm not a hash mark person. I try to be a hash mark person, but this is magical. And you can keep track of your 10s also as you keep track of your 1s. And it's the only way I can come out with 2 sleeves that match. So this is my first drop shoulder. I don't know. I probably won't have this done in time to wear it this season, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a slow burn, like I said. And it fits beautifully. I made the size 2, as I typically do in petite knit patterns. And it has quite a bit of ease, which I am fine with. But do keep that in mind if you knit petite knit patterns, that they have a lot of ease.
And your husband loves it.
He does. He loves color, though. And, if it were up to me, I'd knit everything in beige. But beige, I don't think looks so great with my
it's so beautiful. Gray hair. I love it so much.
It's really soft. And you can do that little French tuck thing. And I can just imagine wearing like a little like scarf around my neck, or, I think you can dress this up or dress it down. You can wear it with jeans. Yeah. Wear it out to dinner.
Love it.
I love it. So that is my last whip.
Nice.
Thank you for making me sit still long enough to cast on the stitches. I cast on too few stitches, but I just am going to skip the first round of decreases. Yeah, so I have to make a note of that, so I repeat that same mistake. Not really a mistake, it was a choice on the second sleeve. Yeah.
Nice. So I have one more whip, and it's in my lap. So, when was it? Was it last episode? I said that I was going to make a sweater for my granddaughter, Scarlett, who just turned 11. I can't believe she's 11. Oh my goodness. And I had sent her a bunch of pictures of possibilities, all different styles of sweaters. And she chose this one that was a very open, like a mesh, like a big chunky mesh. And I didn't even pay attention to who the designers were. And she picked the Kim Hargraves one.
Of course.
And so I went to buy the pattern, and it was published in a collection in 2015. So the pattern isn't available and the book is so old, I looked it up, and there were copies. I already talked about this, on Etsy for like $200. I'm not going to spend $200.
Oh, wow.
So I posted on Instagram, and somebody on Instagram named Florence found a copy of it in a used bookstore in the UK
Wow. Oh, my
for
goodness.
18 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
So I bought it. Thank you so much, Florence. And it's right there on the cover. So my granddaughter picked out that pattern. I'll have put a picture in by now, one of Kim Hargrave's pictures, but it's really beautiful. And it's supposed to be knit in a cotton. I didn't really know if I was going to do that. I didn't want it to be really heavy. My granddaughter is really sensitive about what she wears, so it needed to be really, really soft and not too heavy. So I was in a local yarn shop in Connecticut, and Village Wool, it's called, in Glastonbury, Connecticut. And I purchased, my granddaughter's favorite color is turquoise. So I purchased this. And I already shared this previously, but this is Barocco Wizard in the color turquoise. It's 85% superwash merino, so that's why it's so soft. And it's 15% nylon. So this is going to be good for a preteen who's going to throw it on her bedroom floor, and it's going to get mixed up in the laundry.
Right.
So hopefully it'll wash and wear really, really
and
well.
And it's not acrylic. I thought it might even be acrylic because it's so soft.
And it's a chainette. It's really soft and airy and just really lovely. So at first I didn't know if I could get that pattern book, so I found a different pattern that was somewhat similar, and I swatched in that, and I showed that last time. But I re-swatched with this because it's completely different stitch pattern. And it's a 3x2 rib. I swatched in the round, and it fits Scarlett's little delicate arm so beautifully. But I also swatched trying to figure out, it's supposed to be knit flat in pieces and seamed, and I really did not want to seam this. And also with this yarn, if I knit the front and then the back starting in a different place in the yarn
wouldn't match.
It wouldn't match.
No.
So I just decided to convert it to in the round. But another viewer, what's her name? She sent me a message, Karen, who is dreaming on Ravelry. Go look at her. The sweater's called Aqua. Did I even say that? Oh my goodness. The sweater's called Aqua, and she knit a beautiful creamy colored one, similar to Kim Hargrave's, and she converted to in the round, and she wrote copious notes in her Ravelry. So she instructed me to go there and check it out. It definitely helped. So when I did my swatch, I did it in the round with Magic Loop, but I wanted to see how it would, because I had to take out 2 extra seam stitches on each side, and then see how I was going to do the side seam, because it's kind of a honeycombed. So the side seam would be the middle of a lace hole. So what I decided to do, and kind of I think is what she did, I still started I have markers at the side seams, and I start the pattern as instructed as if I was knitting flat. So I basically start, it's a 4-row repeat, and I start rows 1 and 2 with 2 knit 2s on each side. And then rows 3 and 4, it's just the lace holey part all the way around. But it creates kind of a side seam.
Like a faux seam.
A faux seam. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And I did swatch. It's a big needle size. The pattern comes in 6 sizes. Extra small with a 32-inch bust. That's the actual bust measurement, not the finished object measurement. Up to a double XL with a 43-inch bust, so it's not really size inclusive, obviously, not even close. And I calculated, it doesn't say in the pattern how much positive ease it is, but I calculated it out, and it's basically 6 inches of positive ease, or 15 centimeters. So I did my gauge swatch. It's supposed to be 13 stitches by 22 rows with a suggested needle of a US 9 for the rib, and then, which is a 5.5 millimeter, and then a 10.5, which is a 6.5 millimeter for the lace work. And I did that when I started, the 9. I did the rib so I could see how it converted. I wanted to see how it converted, especially in the round. One thing I did was, it was supposed to start with knit 3 on this side and end with knit 3 on this side on the rib, but I just wanted it to continue. So I wanted to see how that would convert into the lace work, and it worked out perfectly fine.
Okay.
But then I did the US 10.5 for this part, the first section. Then I switched, because it wasn't, I mean, hard to, it's hard to figure out your gauge with lace because you block it.
Right.
So, and I didn't know, it doesn't say to really stretch it a lot, but I didn't really know what it would do, especially this yarn. So then I decided to go up to an 11 because there's a huge difference between a 10.5 and an 11. I mean, it just seems like a ginormous difference. And when I looked at, I don't like how this looks as much as this.
And it's funny. I think I like the bigger.
You like the bigger holes
better? I like
better?
the bigger holes.
Anyway, so I decided, though, I like the smaller holes, so I decided after doing my gauge swatch to actually knit with the suggested needles, and then I have to convert the pattern to her size. So I did all these calculations. It turns out now I'm knitting in double XL for her, but she's tiny.
Oh, wow.
Because my stitches are smaller. It's knit from the bottom up, and there's no shaping to the underarms, and then it is a set-in sleeve, so there will be armhole shaping here. And then you pick up stitches and do the neck rib, which I'm not looking forward to picking up stitches from this kind of a pattern, but we will see. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Scarlet's even smaller than the smallest size in the pattern, so I think it'll work out fine. But I did cast it on.
Well, and she's growing.
She's growing, yes,
Oh,
and then
there
she
you
can
go.
wear it longer. And she's a preteen. She likes to wear things oversized and slouchy and everything.
Well, and then it can be a crop top.
But here it is. I did decide to cast it on. So this is my take out of the house project, and I love how it's striping. Look at how the rib is striping.
Yeah.
Because of course when you knit a swatch, there's less. It's the circumference is so much smaller. You can't really tell what it's going to look
The stripes are much bigger, wider.
Yeah. So the sleeves are going to look like the swatch, that kind of a wide stripe, and then the body of the sweater is going to be a much narrower. It's almost like one stripe per color change. So I just love it. I think it's so beautiful.
It's really fun.
So anyway, modifications. I am going to make modifications. I'm going to make it more cropped. This is more like a sweater. It's supposed to go down to like around your hips, but I'm going to make it kind of waistband length. And she also likes a longer sleeve, so I'm going to make a nice long sleeve. And hopefully I have enough yarn, especially since I have smaller stitches. Eek. But it is such an open pattern. I think it'll be fine. So that's it. Oh, I wanted to share. I'm keeping it. I haven't used this bag before. I was looking for a little project bag to hold it in. And I found this in a bag of things we got from Rhinebeck weekend. And then I realized this was a gift bag from Yessie of Yessie's Designs and her two lovely children. And we got to meet them in person for the first time at the Road to Rhinebeck event here.
Yeah.
And they brought a bag full of goodies for each of us.
I know, lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. And so I pulled this out, and it says inspire and be inspired. And I posted on Instagram yesterday and tagged Yessie in it. By the way, Yessie has a YouTube channel, Yessie's Designs. She has a website. She has a blog. She's a designer. She's a knitter. And she creates, I mean, how does she have time for all this? She's amazing. I can like barely do one thing at a time. But she just recently made these, and she's taking pre-orders now. So if you want to pre-order this, the pre-orders will be available until May 3rd. Hopefully I'll get this edited and out in April. So if you want to go and pre-order this bag, it's just adorable. It has a little zipper. It's a simple canvas. I just love it. It's perfect for this project right now. When it gets bigger, I won't be able to keep it in here. But it also matches the project. So thank you so much, Yessie, and your lovely children. I don't want to say their names in case she doesn't say their names online. But her children are adorable. Her daughter, does she knit? I can't remember. But when we were here for Road to Rhinebeck, she was running around buying a bunch of yarn or picking out yarn for projects. I don't know if it was for her mother to knit or for her to knit. I can't remember. And by the way, that young woman is the young woman who thinks that Jonna, I always say this, looks like a princess.
Maybe she's changed her mind.
No, I don't think so.
And it had to do with the blue sparkly
ranunculus
and the wedding outfit. I thought I looked like Elsa from Frozen, even though my granddaughter said a hard no to that. Elsa does not have gray hair.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, that's
funny.
my princess outfit.
And we found out that day that her son, who's a little bit older, he's the one who edits her videos. So
how nice is that?
Family affair. Yeah, so fun. So anyway, thank you so much, Yessie and lovely children, for this beautiful bag. And I'm finally using it. And if you want one, go check out her website and pre-order or order something else. And they don't live too far away, right? They live in Connecticut. Yeah. So that was really fun to meet them. Anyway, that's it for my whips. That's it.
That's it.
Fun, fun, fun. What's next?
Well, I forgot to talk about this in our last video, but I am wearing my favorite thing. My earrings. So this is funny. I went on the Julie Asselin website to look and see if she had cobalt in stock because foolishly I thought she dyed it for me, but she didn't. She just dyed it for me for pick up every stitch so I could buy it. She dyed a batch of it.
Right.
But
so she did dye it for you.
I went on her website, which I'll link below, but she also makes jewelry. So earrings, necklaces, and has scarves on her website. And I love a good earring. It's just my jam. I don't really wear bracelets. This is a ponytail holder. And I don't really wear necklaces too often because taking them off and on and whatnot, but I do like a good pair of earrings. So I did buy these on the Julie, actually Felicia ordered them for me from Julie Asselin because she was getting a shipment anyway, but she has, these also come in black and I think they're beautiful. So it's all beaded, very, very beautiful. So these are my favorite thing. My Julie Asselin earrings.
Did I tell you I got to meet her at VogueNet Live?
Oh, no.
Oh, she's so fun and funky.
Oh, really?
I feel like we could be sisters.
Yeah.
Well, I would be the very, very, very older sister, but.
Like Eastern inspired to me. And they have stones in them and beads. And I don't know, I just thought they were really beautiful. So.
They are really elegant.
Yeah.
And I never wear earrings.
I know. I asked you before, like, are your ears, they are pierced, but they're not.
Back in the 80s,
you don't wear them. Oh,
I
yeah.
used to wear the big chandelier earrings. And once I had my first child in 1988,
right, you couldn't wear
I really never wore earrings again. I just didn't wear them and didn't buy any. I would try to wear them, but I just got out of the habit.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can get an earring.
And I feel naked without my earrings.
It's funny.
When I go visit my grandchildren, they like to help me pick out which earrings to wear. So
fun.
Hopefully no one can see this dreadful, gross nail polish on my.
I can't see any.
Oh, good, because it's like flesh color. But anyway, it's half grown out. It looks terrible. So another reason there hasn't been a lot of knitting in my life, besides just general chaos, is I'm obsessed with a book series. So my daughter texted me and she's like, "Mom, will you read this book because I want to talk about it?" And she says, it's not your genre. I'm like, okay. She's like, it's like Harry Potter, but with dragons. It's like, oh yeah, so not my genre, you know? It's total sci-fi, fantasy. But I bought the book like a good mom and plowed through the first book, which is called Fourth Wing. Now, this is a very popular book. Many of you have probably read it. And I'm on the second book, which is Iron something or other, and then I've already pre-ordered the third book. So there's been a lot of binge reading, and I didn't buy it. I'm not a huge audiobook. I want to be an audiobook person because I want to be able to knit and do other things, but that's the problem, is I've turned on the audiobook and then I'm doing 9 things and I don't hear a word that's said. So it's, you know, in this season of life, I think it's been really good for me to kind of shut my brain down and just do one thing, and this book has really held my attention. So it's quite good. And if you do read the book, be sure you don't skip the bio of the author because it's actually really interesting and it pertains to the book itself.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, just a little tidbit, the main character is a woman and she has a kind of genetic disorder, I guess, a weakness, kind of a congenital weakness, but the author has connective tissue disease. And so it's very well written. It's very interesting, great characters, a quick read. So anyway, I'm into it.
Can you send me I'm going to find out what it is from editing, but my granddaughter loves.
Not appropriate.
Okay.
No.
Well, my daughter then.
So,
loves that kind of book too.
To each his own parenting style, but actually that was a discussion I was having with someone here in the store. I personally would not, it reads like young adult fiction, but I would not recommend it for a young adult. Okay. So another thing I've been, that I love my home design shows, but I've been totally binge watching Nate and Jeremiah, Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent, married couple. and I just love their aesthetic, and I binge watch every show that they
Oh, that's so
that
fun.
they make. Yeah, and I can't knit and watch TV at the same time, but like I said, I just need this kind of immersive escape. Oh, and
From all the stresses of
yeah, from
life.
all the stress of life, and worrying about people. Um, but I've also a friend of mine who she's a viewer, but we've become friends. She lives in Germany, and Anya, who visited us here in the store. Hi, Anya. She'll be embarrassed. She was like, "Oh, do you use Duolingo?" And I have Duolingo on my phone. It's a language app, a language learning app, and I have used it. I thought I watched that Seaside Hotel. I was like, I'm gonna learn Danish. Yeah, and that didn't go that well. But I have taken French since I was in 7th grade, so I would say I'm fairly fluent in like day-to-day stuff. I can't have a deep intellectual conversation in French, but so I've been also very diligent on my 78-day streak of Duolingo.
Nice.
So
French or German?
French.
Okay.
Yeah, not Danish, and not I think I want to learn Dutch too because of it's a Sarah, but that's a whole other thing. But no, it's so amazing how much you remember from 7th grade that you can't remember what you had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, I'm loving the Duolingo app. So yeah, hence the lack of knitting, but it is what it is, and it's just a season, and yeah, I'm very, very happy to be able to take care of my dad. So,
yeah, nice. I am reading 2 books right now. One is an audiobook, and I am not an audiobook person. I am listening to The Source by James Michener.
I love a James Michener.
Oh, me too. I've loved.
They're so detailed and fascinating.
It's amazing how he learns. I read Chesapeake and Shogun, and I'm sure I've read others.
Oh, they're great.
But I have a paperback copy of The Source. I bought it a few years ago because I heard someone talking about it. It sounded so interesting. But this book is so thick, and the font has to be like a 6 point. It is the tiniest font. I could not, and it's very dense reading, especially in the beginning. It's
very detailed.
It's about a fictional archaeological dig in Israel. And I loved the content of it, but I could not get myself to read this book. So I decided when I'm driving and when I'm crocheting to listen to it. And sometimes I do get distracted. I have to rewind. But I'm really loving it, and I'm like really deep into it right now. Nice. I love that. But also just to have something to read if I want to. I decided to read Animal Farm.
By George Orwell?
Yes. My husband talks about it all the time,
oh my
like
goodness.
related
that
to
so
current politics and all kinds of.
I read that in high school.
And I probably was supposed to read it, but I don't know if I really read it or if I even understood it, or even you read it just to take a little quiz.
Right. It's like Lord of the Flies kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then after that, I want to read 1984. But anyway.
Yeah, I read 1984 too.
Anyway, so I'm reading Animal Farm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
I know, kind of silly.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, I love existentialism, and so my friend Anya loves also existentialism. So I've been reading some Albert Camus, and my grandmother left me a lot of books, many of them in French, in the original language. So yeah, maybe
what did I read that was Camus? He didn't write Brave New World, did he?
No.
Who wrote Brave New World?
I don't know.
I really loved and hated that book. Oh my goodness. I loved it because it's amazing writing, but I just hated that these fictional people would fall for this. Like, it made me so angry. It made me so angry.
That's funny.
But anyway, it was a well-written book.
We did it.
We did. We filmed another video. Yay! Oh, I didn't talk about my...
your favorite thing?
My favorite thing. Okay, so my favorite thing... By the way, I did want to talk about this. In case anybody is wondering, people have asked about my knitting journal. My knitting planner that I used to use. I loved it, but the woman sold the company, and the new owner, I have to check again, but I don't think that she created any for 2024. So when Jonna was wondering what to buy me for Christmas, I said, I need a knitting planner.
And they have these that think of every step.
Yes, like my big binder clip. So I'm using it, and I like it. It's nice.
It's much smaller, and it's really just for knitting.
Yes. The other one was more like a date book, like a calendar. This is published by Lane Publishing. And when you open it, it has a beautiful fabric cover. It's called My Knitting Notes.
Also known as Lina.
Is it Lina?
From Lina magazine, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Lina, thank you.
Yeah.
It says for the love of wool inside. One of the first pages is knitting needle sizes and conversions. Oh, look at that. I could use that. This is the first time I've actually brought it here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it has a ruler. I've always wished books had a ruler. There's centimeters on one side and inches on the other. Look at that. I didn't even know this was in here. And there's a bunch of knitting abbreviations. And then it starts with a project page. So it has the date, started, finished here, and basic information. And then it just has some lines on this page. And the next page is completely blank. And this is one of the things I don't like about it because it's a lot of wasted paper. What I might do is finish the entire book and any of these facing blank pages, start writing new projects on them because I don't want to waste pages. I started cutting the corner of the page when I finished the project just so I can easily find my next project. And this is the yarn for the Brita pillow, which I didn't talk about today because I haven't decided what to do with them right now, how to knit them, but I had started. So I started taping the yarns in, and then I paper clipped the pattern in. And then, because I am a paper person, not digital like Jonna, I'm a paper person. And so this one is a finished one. So anyway, I like it. I mean, I just love having a place to write down all my notes. But another thing I don't like is the knitter's planner was a spiral. So this
it laid flat.
Like it just will not.
I think you are the perfect person to make your own knitter's planner.
Really?
Yes.
Just seems
Kim
like
from
so
Knit
much
Together
work.
with Kim and Donna's knitting planner.
Okay, any publishers out there who want to help me. But anyway,
right?
What I do is whatever I'm working on or talking about, I put a binder clip in there, and then I can easily find the page I'm on. It does have a ribbon, but I just like it to be held open, and then I put my phone on it or something heavy. But anyway, so I brought that with me today. I just thought I would show you. I love it. Thank you so much. I'm just glad I have somewhere to put all my things in. But what was I going to talk about? Oh, my favorite thing. So I noticed, sorry, I don't want to knock over my water bottle, and this is on the floor, and it's a little heavy.
This is a new yarn.
Yes, there's a new yarn that they're carrying, a new company, not a new.
A new to pick up every stitch.
Yes. So this is Red Stag Fiber, and when I saw that they posted that they're carrying a new yarn here, a new yarn maker, Red Stag Fiber, it just clicked like a little bell in my brain. I've heard that name before. I don't even know if I've told you this. Because our Instagram account for our channel is linked to my private Instagram. And we get so many messages, like offers. I can grow your Instagram, like all these crazy things that I just ignore or delete. But we do get things from yarn. And so we had a message, I think in September or October, from Red Stag Fiber, from Joshua. Sorry, Joshua. And he had asked about something about his yarn, and I don't even know, I can't remember now if he was offering us yarn or what. And I never answered. Part of it too is because your father's health really started to decline in September, and it was just been crazy busy. And so, I didn't know if we wanted to embark on something new or figure something out. It just was too much. So then when I saw that they're carrying Red Stag Fiber, it rang that bell, and I went back to that message, and I wrote to Joshua, and I said, I am so sorry I never answered, but now I get to try your yarn.
Okay.
Because it's a pick up every stitch. So I came in, and this is their Manor collection. And just look at it's I think Karen or Felicia called it like a kind of a moody, muted color, would you call it? Yeah, it's just so lovely. And there are 4 different, what are they called? Bases. 4 different bases.
I can remember because I'm not the one doing the talking.
Yes. There's the Riyadh fingering, which is 50% baby camel and 50% silk. And
that must be this one.
Yes, it's just
it's so beautiful.
Oh, it's silky
it's so
and
soft. And I pulled the label off.
Oh gosh, it was kind of loose and open anyway when but it's really beautiful. And then there's the Yorkshire Sport, which is 75% Polwarth and 25%. How would you say that? Masham. Yes. So there's the sport weight. And then there's the Yorkshire DK, so the same fiber content, 75% Polwarth, and 25% Masham. And then there's the Dakas Surrey, which is a Surrey alpaca. It's
so
just
soft.
really beautiful.
It's really soft.
And it exactly matches a lot of their colors. And it's 41% baby alpaca, 35% silk, 13% 18.5 micron merino, and 10% yak.
Which doesn't add up to 100.
I'm sorry, Joshua. That doesn't add up to 100. That adds up to 99. I don't know. I figured it out.
It's a random magical 1%.
So there's a missing 1%. But anyway, they're beautiful. And I really love this. What would you call this?
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse.
Or frog juice. Or
and
acid
don't I want to
green
use these
or...
in the same thing?
Oh, yeah.
And the blue. Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's
that
just...
reminds me of your Here Comes the Sun kind of colors.
Oh, it does.
I love it. It's funny how we gravitate towards the same thing.
It's just so beautiful.
Like beige.
I wonder if
All
you
the
could
beige.
knit that Joji Locatelli Elton.
Or, that looks like you.
The striped, like, use mohair
and
and then...
use this in the
Yeah,
stripes.
use the Surrey alpaca.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be pretty.
Yeah, so might have to do that. I want to knit something in this, but I don't know if I would wear it. Would I? I don't know. Anyway, I love it. So that's my favorite thing. Thank you, Joshua, for hooking up here with Pick Up Every Stitch. And I'm sorry I didn't answer your Instagram. Oh, gosh. And if I haven't answered any of the others, I think there's 3 more. Oh, I have to go back and look at them and see what they were. Sorry.
And I haven't even picked up my Instagram in months.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, just one of those things is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that's it then. Right? Are we done?
Yeah. If you want to contact us, email us. We're better. We're better at email.
Yes. If anybody,
we get fewer emails.
Right.
So.
And if people ask questions in Instagram, I purposely, or in our YouTube, that they really need an answer, I say, please email us. It's just so much easier. And we don't always answer those immediately either, because life is crazy. So, we get to them when we get to them, but it's just so much easier. And you can send pictures if you,
So all of our contact info is in the show notes. We even have a phone number that gets used so infrequently. I have to call my husband once every 3 months so we can maintain that phone number. Yeah.
But if you swipe, if you're on YouTube and you on our channel and you swipe all the way, you can see the last thing on the
is about or something.
Is about, and it gives all our contact information, and also it's in the show notes.
Yeah, we have a post office box.
Yes, we do.
That we pay dearly for.
It's expensive.
It's so expensive.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
We haven't even checked it recently.
Yeah. Thank you to the members who help support the channel.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. But comment, like, subscribe, share, and become a member. Yeah, we'd love to have you on our Cable 3 Zooms.
And buy a row counter on Twice Sheared Sheep, and you will never, ever look back.
No, they're so fun.
Yes.
And merch. One of the things I almost wore today was our logo T-shirt.
Because your hair is that color on the shirt.
Is it? It's
pink.
pink. Yeah. But I didn't wear it. And I think that's really it now.
All right.
Yeah, I hope to see you at local yarn shop day. Don't forget to go buy a Katydid bag using that discount code, which was Kim and Jonna 10 on her
in the show notes.
Etsy shop. And you can also pre-order one of Yessie's bags if you want. That's
okay.
Yep.
Thanks. What do I normally say?
I don't know.
See you next time.
Bye.
Is that what I usually say?
I don't know.
What
do you say? Bye. That was awkward.
I know. So awkward. Shall we do that again?
If you want to.
I don't know. What do I normally say? See you next time.
I
don't even know what I normally say.
Well, I guess that's it. Okay. Usually we say bye first and then you say see. So usually we go like, well, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next time.
That's right. Now, Michaela, we really miss you. We have to start over. Okay. So
you looked at me. I looked away. I looked at you. You looked away. Okay.
I always bring way more than I need.
We have the weirdest noises today.
I know.
It's like someone dropping marbles.
One by one.
One by one.
These are my storage bins for my yarn, and I use an empty one. I can't get the book out.